A 5-year-old boy walked into a biker bar covered in bruises, carrying his piggy bank, and asked the most dangerous men in town to save his mother from her new boyfriend. Before we dive into the story, make sure to smash subscribe because tomorrow we have an extra special story for you that will blow your mind. The Iron Wolves Motorcycle Club was having their weekly meeting when the door creaked open. 20 leather-clad bikers turned to see who dared interrupt them. What they saw made every conversation stop dead. A small boy stood in the doorway, his Batman shirt torn and dirty, his left eye swollen shut. He clutched a ceramic piggy bank to his chest like it was the most precious thing in the world. Blood trickled from his nose. "Please," the boy whispered, "I need help." Marcus, the club president, was out of his chair before anyone else could move. The 6'4" former Marine knelt down slowly, making himself smaller so he wouldn't scare the child. "What's your name, buddy?" "Ethan," the boy said, his voice barely audible. "Ethan, where are your parents?" The boy's bottom lip trembled. "Mommy's boyfriend is hurting her again. He locked me outside, but I know where you meet because I see your motorcycles every Thursday." Marcus felt rage building in his chest, but he kept his voice gentle. "How old are you, Ethan?" 5 3/4. Jesus Christ. This baby had walked alone through the roughest part of town to find them. The other bikers were already on their feet, hands clenched into fists. "Show me what's in the piggy bank," Marcus said softly. Ethan turned it upside down on the nearest table. Quarters, dimes, nickels, and pennies scattered across the wood. Maybe $12 total. "I saved for a whole year," Ethan explained. "Is it enough to make him stop?" That's when they noticed the old bruises under the new ones. This wasn't the first time. This had been going on for a while. Razor, the club's enforcer, slammed his fist on the bar. "Tell us where this piece of trash lives." "The yellow apartment building on 3rd Street, Ethan said. "Apartment 2B, please hurry." He was really mad tonight. Marcus stood up and looked at his brothers. These weren't choir boys. Half of them had done time. They'd seen violence, dealt violence, and weren't afraid of anything. But a 5-year-old asking them to save his mother. That hit different. "Doc, check the kid," Marcus ordered. Doc wasn't a real doctor, but he'd been a combat medic in Iraq. He gently examined Ethan while the boy tried not to cry. "Multiple contusions, possible fractured ribs," Doc reported quietly. "This kid needs a hospital." "No," Ethan panicked. "If you take me to the hospital, they won't let me go home to Mommy. He'll hurt her worse if I'm not there." The bikers exchanged dark looks. They all knew what that meant. This little boy had been protecting his mother by taking the beatings himself. Marcus made a decision. "Ethan, we're going to help your mom, but I need you to stay here with Betty." Betty was the bar owner's wife, a grandmother who'd seen it all. She immediately wrapped Ethan in a blanket and gave him hot chocolate. "Which apartment?" Marcus asked again. 2B. The door has a dent where he threw a chair at it last week." 15 bikers headed for the door, but Marcus had been around long enough to know they needed to be smart about this. "Viking Tank, you're with me. Everyone else, wait outside the building. And remember, we're there to stop violence, not create more." The yellow apartment building was exactly where Ethan said. Even from the street, they could hear shouting from the 2nd floor. A woman's scream cut through the night. Marcus took the stairs 3 at a time. The door to 2B did have a dent, just like Ethan described. They could hear crying inside. Marcus knocked. "Maintenance, we got a report of a water leak." "Go away," a man's voice shouted. Another scream, the sound of something breaking. Marcus looked at Viking and Tank. They nodded. The door splintered open with one kick. The scene inside was worse than they imagined. A woman cowered in the corner, her face bloody and swollen. A man stood over her with a baseball bat raised. "What the hell?" The boyfriend spun around. He was big, maybe 6 feet tall, muscular, probably used to being the toughest guy in the room. That changed real fast when he saw 3 bikers filling his doorway. "Drop the bat," Marcus said quietly. "This is my apartment. You can't—" "Drop the bat!" The bat clattered to the floor. The woman, Ethan's mother, looked up with eyes full of terror and hope. "Are you Jessica?" Marcus asked. She nodded, unable to speak through her split lips. "Your son sent us. He's safe." At the mention of Ethan, Jessica started sobbing. "Where is he? Is he okay?" "Oh God, I tried to keep him safe." "He's fine. Brave kid you got there." The boyfriend, Derek, tried to act tough. "You got no right to be here. I'll call the cops." Tank actually laughed. Please do. I'm sure they'd love to see what you did to that woman and her kid. The kid fell down the stairs, Derek said. And she's clumsy. Tell them, Jess. Jessica was shaking. Marcus could see the fear in her eyes. How many times had this man made her lie to protect him? Here's what's going to happen, Marcus said. You're going to pack a bag and leave, tonight. Don't come back. This is my apartment. Not anymore. Derek made the mistake of reaching for the bat. Viking's boot connected with his ribs before he got halfway there. Derek hit the wall hard and slid down, gasping. That was your one free swing, Viking said. Want to try for two? While Derek wheezed on the floor, more bikers arrived. They had heard the commotion and came running. Soon, 12 iron wolves filled the small apartment. Please, Jessica begged, don't hurt him. He'll be worse when you leave. Ma'am, Marcus said gently, he's not going to touch you again. Ever. They helped Jessica to her feet. Her injuries were extensive. Black eyes, split lips, bruises everywhere. Doc would need to look at her too. Where's Ethan? She asked desperately. He said he was going to get help, but he's just a baby. I was so scared. Your boy walked 2 miles in the dark to find us, Marcus told her. Brought his piggy bank money to hire us. Jessica broke down completely. That's his college money. He saves every penny he finds. The bikers looked at each other. This 5-year-old had offered his life savings to save his mother. Derek tried to get up. You can't kick me out of my own place. Watch us, Razor said. What happened next would become legend in their club. While half the bikers watched Derek, the others helped Jessica pack. They found Ethan's things, his toys, his clothes, the drawings he'd made for his mother. In Ethan's room, they found something that made their blood run cold. A notebook where the 5-year-old had drawn pictures of what was happening. Stick figures showing a big man hitting a smaller woman, a tiny figure standing between them. Jesus, Tank whispered. This kid's been documenting the abuse. They also found medical bills. Jessica had been to the emergency room 4 times in 6 months, each time with a different story. Fell downstairs, walked into a door, car accident. Pack it all, Marcus ordered. Evidence! Derek was getting desperate. Jess, baby, tell them to leave. You know I love you. I just get stressed sometimes. Jessica wouldn't look at him. Tell them! Derek shouted. That's when they heard sirens. Someone had called the police. The bikers tensed, but Marcus stayed calm. Keep packing, he ordered. 2 officers arrived. They took one look at the scene. Jessica's battered face, Derek on the floor, 12 bikers standing guard, and immediately understood. What happened here? Officer Williams asked. Domestic disturbance, Marcus said. We're helping the lady move out. Williams looked at Jessica. Ma'am, do you want to press charges? Jessica hesitated. Derek glared at her with pure hatred. She won't, Derek said confidently. She knows better. What happened next shocked everyone, but it would determine if justice would truly be served, and it would test whether a mother's love could overcome her fear. Stay tuned to see what happens next. If you're enjoying the story, please like, share, and subscribe for more. Jessica looked at the notebook in Tank's hands. Her son's drawings, evidence of everything he'd witnessed. She thought about Ethan walking alone through dangerous streets to find help. Yes, she said firmly. I want to press charges. Derek exploded. He lunged at Jessica, but didn't make it 2 feet before Viking clotheslined him to the ground. Assault in front of witnesses, Officer Williams noted. That's helpful. While Williams arrested Derek, his partner took Jessica's statement. The bikers stayed, making sure Derek knew they were watching. Where will you go? Officer Williams asked. Jessica. I don't know. I don't have family here. No money. He controlled everything. We got that covered, Marcus said. The Iron Wolves had a network. Within an hour, they'd arranged a safe house for Jessica and Ethan. Not a shelter, a real home belonging to a member's mother who had extra rooms. They drove Jessica to the bar where Ethan was waiting. When the little boy saw his mother, he ran to her arms. Mommy, the bikers said they'd help. Did they help? Yes, baby, they helped. Ethan looked up at Marcus. Was my piggy bank money enough? Marcus knelt down. You know what, little man? Your money was exactly enough. In fact, you overpaid. He pulled out a $100 bill and tucked it into Ethan's piggy bank. That's your change. The other bikers followed suit. Soon, Ethan's piggy bank was overflowing with bills. "For college," Razor said gruffly. Betty had called her nurse friend to look at Jessica and Ethan's injuries. Everything was documented and photographed for the court case. "He'll get out on bail," Jessica worried. "He always does. His family has money." "Let him try something," Viking said. "See what happens." The Iron Wolves set up a protection schedule. 2 bikers would always be nearby, watching over Jessica and Ethan. Derek would have to be stupid to try anything. Turns out, Derek was exactly that stupid. He made bail the next morning. By noon, he was calling Jessica's phone non-stop. The bikers had anticipated this and got her a new number. By evening, Derek was driving past the safe house. He didn't know Thor was watching from across the street. 1 phone call and 6 bikers surrounded Derek's car at a red light. "Lost?" Thor asked through Derek's window. Derek sped off, but the message was clear. They were watching. That night, Jessica told Marcus the whole story. She'd met Derek 8 months ago. He was charming, successful, everything she thought she wanted after Ethan's father abandoned them. "The hitting started small," she explained. "A push here, a slap there, always followed by apologies and gifts." "Classic pattern," Marcus said. He'd seen it too many times. "When he started hitting Ethan," Jessica's voice broke. "I tried to leave, but he said he'd kill us both. Said no one would believe me because he was from a good family and I was just a single mom." "He was wrong," Marcus said simply. The next few weeks were tense. Derek hired an expensive lawyer who tried to get the charges dropped, said it was all a misunderstanding. The lawyer hadn't counted on Ethan's notebook full of drawings being entered as evidence. The Iron Wolves made sure Jessica had a good lawyer too. They might be outlaws, but they knew people. The lawyer took the case pro bono after seeing Ethan's bruises. Derek tried one more time to get to Jessica. He showed up at Ethan's school, claiming to be his stepfather picking him up early. The school called Jessica to confirm. 20 minutes later, 15 Harleys roared into the school parking lot. Derek was still arguing with the principal when the bikers arrived. "There a problem here?" Marcus asked the principal. "This man is trying to pick up Ethan without authorization." "That's kidnapping," Tank observed. "Should we call the cops or handle it ourselves?" Derek left quickly after that. The trial came 3 months later. Jessica testified with 12 Iron Wolves in the gallery behind her. Ethan's drawings were presented as evidence. The emergency room records showed a clear pattern. Derek's lawyer tried to paint the bikers as thugs who intimidated his client. That backfired when Marcus took the stand. "Yes, I'm the president of the Iron Wolves," Marcus said calmly. "I've also served 3 tours in Afghanistan, have a Purple Heart, and run a veterans assistance program. We helped a battered woman and her child escape their abuser. If that makes us thugs, I'll wear that label proudly." The jury deliberated for less than an hour. Guilty on all counts. Derek got 5 years with a restraining order that would last another 10 after that. Outside the courthouse, Ethan ran to Marcus and hugged his legs. "Thank you for saving my mommy." "You saved her," Marcus said. "You were the brave one who came to find help." "Will you still be our friends even though the bad man is gone?" Marcus looked at his brothers. They all nodded. "Iron Wolves protect their own," Marcus said, "and you two are family now." Jessica found a job at a store owned by one of the bikers' wives. Ethan started therapy to deal with what he'd witnessed. The nightmares faded slowly. Every Thursday, Jessica would bring Ethan to the bar for dinner before the Iron Wolves meeting. He became their unofficial mascot, the brave little boy who'd walked through darkness to save his mother. On Ethan's 6th birthday, the Iron Wolves threw him a party. 20 tough bikers singing happy birthday to a little boy in a Batman cape. Ethan blew out his candles and made a wish. "What did you wish for?" his mom asked. "Can't tell or it won't come true," Ethan said. Then he whispered to Marcus, "I wished that all kids had Iron Wolves to protect them." Marcus ruffled his hair. "We're working on that, buddy." The club had started a program after Ethan's story got out. They partnered with local abuse shelters, offering protection and support to families escaping violence. They called it Ethan's Army. 5 years passed. Derek never made it to the end of his sentence. Prison justice has its own rules about men who hurt women and children. Jessica married a good man who loved Ethan like his own. The wedding was held at the Iron Wolves clubhouse with 20 bikers in attendance. Ethan, now 11, gave a speech at the wedding that left no dry eyes in the house. "When I was little, I thought heroes wore capes and could fly," Ethan said. "But real heroes wear leather and ride motorcycles. They show up when you need them most. They teach you that being strong doesn't mean hurting others. It means protecting them." He looked at Marcus and the other iron wolves. "You saved my mom, but you also saved me. You showed me what real men look like." Marcus had to turn away to wipe his eyes. Razor blamed the tears on allergies. Tank said it was dusty in there. Today, Ethan is 16. He volunteers at the abuse shelter, telling his story to other kids who feel trapped and helpless. He shows them that help can come from unexpected places. He still has his piggy bank, now filled with the money the bikers gave him that night. He's never spent a penny of it. "That's my reminder," Ethan explains. "The $12 I saved could have meant $12,000, and it wouldn't have mattered. What mattered was that I asked for help, and warriors answered." The Iron Wolves still meet every Thursday night, and sometimes, just sometimes, another scared child finds the courage to walk through their door. When that happens, they remember Ethan and the night a 5-year-old boy with a piggy bank reminded them what honor really means. Some people think bikers are just thugs on motorcycles, but sometimes they're the angels a desperate mother prays for, arriving on roaring steel steeds to stand between evil and innocence. Because real strength isn't about how hard you can hit. It's about knowing who deserves protection and being willing to provide it. The piggy bank still sits on the bar at the Iron Wolves Clubhouse, a reminder that heroes come in all sizes, and sometimes the smallest among us show the greatest courage. Thank you for watching this incredible story. Please subscribe to our channel and click on one of the 2 amazing stories on your screen right now. Tomorrow's story will absolutely blow your mind. You won't want to miss it.